Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy. Today we are going to be returning to the Forgotten Keep. It was a map that we took a look at maybe like 2 months ago, and today we're specifically going to be looking at the Eastern Wing. So we're going to kind of loosely connect things to the West Wing here. There is a kind of like central area of the keep that we had in the other parts of this map, and we're going to retain that, but at least for now we want to kind of like mirror certain things. So let's take a look at the Excel spreadsheet that we originally had, and this is just a little bit of what could be coming down the pipe and things like that. But for now, we know that we've got this kind of 15 by 33 zone, so we know that we're going to kind of have to tweak certain things to make room for whatever we're doing. We'll go back into Inkarnate and kind of play with this by going into the resize map, new map from region. We're going to just grab everything and change this to snap to grid for the same reason that we did for the dojo way back when. I don't want it to be like that. I just want to zoom out and move to the side. And we're going to make this a 80 by 40. So we've essentially doubled our size here. We're going to do confirm. We don't want to remove all the objects because I'd like to just be able to use some of the objects that we already had. And then we'll just remove all that later as we need to. Alright, so we're going to hit save. You can see that clearly, because of the way that we had done things, we really didn't retain any of the crazy stuff over on the right side. Let's see. So the reason that it showed up like that instead of how sometimes when we're doing like some of the external, like wilderness style maps and things like that, if you're doing grass and you go off on this one side, there's a little bit of overlap and it ends up showing up on the other side. But because we did everything with the fill tools, it's very clean the way that it cuts off. In fact, this one wasn't. There's a little bit of overlap for whatever reason. That's interesting. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the kind of style that we had before. So we've got these kind of that ground style. And we're going to throw that into play where we have some of this other stuff. So if we go and look here, we know that there's going to have to be a little bit of room down here because there has to be like a before room to prep for our puzzle room, and everything over on this side is kind of squared off. But the thing that we can do is we can shift things down a little bit. So if we look again at the Inkarnate map, we see that this door is about 5 up from the bottom. So we could pretty much do that same thing here. We could do... So if we were looking here, we could make it so that... Here, what we're going to do is make a copy of this real quick so I can break things without permanently breaking them. Alright, so what I'm planning on doing here is something a little bit more like that. So we're going to shift things so that you can still kind of go in here. Nope, don't want to do anything there. But it gives us something a little bit more to work with because, as you might recall from yesterday, we're planning on doing something over here to connect into this room. So it's going to give players a little bit more finesse where they don't have to go back through this trap room. In theory, it could have been like here, but we're going to leave that for something else instead. So we know that we have a 5 by 7. That's not a 5 by 7. So if we did something like that and we applied the floor there, that's our first starting zone. Then we know that we're going to have a 5 by 5, so we'll do the same thing, but we're going to change the color so that we have a pretty distinct color change between our rooms. This way we know, hey, I'm looking at this a very specific way. I know that there's going to be walls and doors between this. That's how we're going to kind of clean those things up. If we're keeping going this way and we have it so that this goes about that far, we know that in the middle of this we need a 5x3 little passageway. So we're going to do the same color over here because I like to alternate when it comes to the Forgotten Keep. And let's see, if we do that, it'll be a 3x11. And we're going to switch back to this color scheme. Okay. Now we're going to, let's make this one a little brighter instead. So we'll make this one we'll do like a 115. Because the next step that we're going to do is this little area right here. It's a very slim passageway. We actually might be able to extend that because, as you can see here, we've got 11x33, or 13x33 rather. So we've got a decent amount of space to play with. If we come back here, we know that we're going to have a little bit down here. So I think what we'll do is, let's see real quick. Let me think this out. So basically what we're doing is moving this a smidge over, and we'll have to account for that when we're doing the basement level as well. Like we'll have to move something over there to make it make sense. Oh, I went a little too far. See if I can move that over without losing too much. I lose that a little bit. I'm going to lose the numbers if I do that. Well, I'll tell you what. I know it's supposed to be there. You know it's supposed to be there. That's all the important stuff that we need. So yeah, what we'll do here is we're going to math this out. It's 9x2 now instead. So it gives players a little bit more ability to kind of move around and play a little bit with the space if they need to. Like I said, we're going to make this a brightness 115, so it pops out even compared to that. We'll go back to the regular color for... yeah, we're going to stay at the regular color. Nope. Yep. I really don't know yet. Give me a second. I'm thinking it over. So the green here indicates the entrance and the exit of this kind of little non-maze maze. So we've got a 3x9 here. Let's see. And we're going to go back to the brighter style for Primal Fire, the big puzzle room. So we've got here a 9x9. This is the biggest room that I think we have. Nope, we had a 9x9 in the other puzzle chamber too. So it'll match up, it'll look nice. And the floor of this room is going to look decidedly different anyway. We're going to go even brighter because the floor is going to have numbers on them, and it's going to have... We might do a variation of this where, in addition to numbers, there's like color schemes as well. So like adventurers, if a DM thinks that their party's going to struggle with it, we'll give them, you know, a little bit of an opportunity to understand things a little bit better. No, that's not right. This one. Okay, and here we've got this little area here, which will do the same thing. We'll extend that to 2. And we'll make this a darker one. Let me do a count. This one is 16. So this is a pretty deep dive into the far side of this map. 1x16, so it's going to be a 2x16. I always miss that. Okay, so we still have that alternating color scheme helping us out. And we've got 2 rooms over here, which are going to be 7x7 and 5x7. Okay, and let's see if we can do this color, which I think is different than all the other ones. Yeah, it starts to kind of blend in a little bit, but not terribly. And last couple of things. We've got another looking corridor over here, and then the chamber that leads to the... So I think eventually, like, the way that it's going to go is you would go into this room, you would go into this room. There's going to be kind of like a glass, like, looking portal here so that players can see, all right, there's something going on in this room. They might not know exactly what right away, but the entrance will be down here. They'll go in through here. They'll eventually notice, oh, okay, there's a way that we don't have to go through Primal Fire anymore. Like, that's asking a lot of a team. And in theory, like, you could make it so that the trap deactivates as soon as you hit, like, a pressure plate over here or something. In which case, like, we might just wipe this out entirely. Like, we might have an alternate where it doesn't have those things. Players will then come through here. They'll see... I think this might have been a lever at one point. And in any case, the way that this room works is you put like some kind of like fodder monster in here, and they can either like come up out of the grates, or they can be pushed into it and everything like that. And if you really wanted to go nuts, you could make it so that they drop down into this level. So we might even kind of add to this and flex this out a little bit more so that you can have something like that, where if you're doing like slimes, they drop down. Maybe it creates some kind of mini boss where they all like merge together or something like that. But in any case, you come through here, you'll walk through this passageway, you'll come up here, and then you'll finally find that little spot here. We're giving people a lot of room to maneuver and make things. Well, we're giving the DM the opportunity to make a lot of combat encounters if they want to, and we're giving players the time to kind of like walk 2 by 2 instead of struggling to, if there was a combat encounter, they're not stuck in a situation where they have to fight their way through anything one at a time. That gets kind of a little bit on the crazy side. Okay, we're gonna do a 2 by 9 here. I'll use the darker color, and let's see, did I do that right? Yeah, that looks right. And then the other one is going to be a 3 by 9. There we go. All right. So in theory, at this point, we have the map all planned out as far as what we need. What we're going to do is the same thing that we did over here. We're going to use the obsidian as our border. So I think that that'll make it look nice. And the nice thing too is in doing it the opposite side, now the game masters can connect even without like the central piece, the southern piece, the northern piece. They have the flexibility to do some fun stuff with this. So just throwing the flat colors down. Well, they're not really flat, but you get what I mean. Doesn't like do too much of a crazy job of telling a story, but you can already see as we start to fill in the background a little bit more that there's a little bit of extra character to this map now. So what we're going to have to do is we'll grab some walls and we'll start to fill out what we have. So we know we have the 9 by 9, so we're going to grab this to help us to fill in this a little bit. And what do we got here? What sizes do we have to play with? So the only thing that's bothering me is, to me, it looks like we're looking at things in low def compared to how we did our other stuff. So we're going to do a save real quick. And we're going to return to our maps. let's play with what this looks like if we open this a certain way. I don't know if this is going to work or if it's going to break my system, but I want it to look nice and clean when I'm working on it. You can certainly export it at a higher level, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, this looks a lot cleaner. Again, it might take a little while to move things around because we were asking a little bit more of the computer, but I'd rather know what I'm working with, so we can get this kind of squared away a little bit. So you can tell that there's a little bit wrong here. They don't match up all the way. And I liked the way that the right side matched up, so we're going to do this. Move that down a smidge. Those don't add up, but now they do. I kind of want them to come down. All right, that looks fine. We know that we're going to need another little square guy over here. Oop, that would help if I did the control and not the summon Cortana button. Alright, so we've got this side, and oh, you know what I should have done? Here's the thing. Let's get rid of this up here because we don't need them anymore. These are all kind of wonky, but you know what? We're going to change things anyway. So we're going to just flip everything on its side. And our entrance is actually already there. So flipping it like that helped us out. The exit's going to be up here instead. So what we'll do is we'll move this over. We can move the doors into place. So this door is going to be down here. We'll clean that up as we go. We want that to open outwards. And now let's reshape everything, make sure everything is where it's supposed to go. The left and right sides landed pretty nicely. Let's move these two up a smidge. That looks good. How did these end up? These need a little bit of cleaning up. Move those up a smidge. And good. I think that's good. All right, let's save it again. Just because now that we're working on 4K, I want to make sure that we give the system a little bit of extra room to adjust and play and everything like that. It's definitely taking a little bit longer, but I'm okay with that. Better to be safe than sorry. So the unfortunate thing is that none of our other rooms really are the size that we need to capture, you know, like the amount of walls that we have and stuff like that. Within here, things will be a little bit nicer because we can do the these corridors. They're the same walls and things like that. But let's start off by grabbing. What was it? We said it was 9, right? So it's the same length as this. But we know that we're going to have to move some stuff around because the entrance of these corridors is in the center instead of at the top. So let's get rid of our boy up there. And you know what? We're going to keep it because we're going to have to move some things along. Because this one's going to have to die. And we'll bring this guy in here. Okay, that landed nicely. We're going to grab... Oh, we'll just grab one, move that over, another one down here, And then we know we need 2 at the top and bottom. So we'll go here and here. And at that point, we're looking pretty good. So we're going to grab everything that we have here. And in theory, if we flip this, nope, I lied. It will not work that way. So we'll just take what we have and clear things out the way that we need to. So this one is going to we'll close this off. And we'll make some adjustments up at the top instead. Because up here is where the door is going to be. Those definitely do not match up. One more down here. And we need a little guy. And down here, we're going to move this one up so that this one can have the door here. And essentially now what we have to do is just kind of extend it over one more time. So what we're going to do is grab these. And we'll grab one more of these little guys. And we have a one-off anywhere that we can grab in that orientation. Yes, we can. So that's where the stairs are going to descend into. So we're good there. Let's see. 3 there. And let's move this one smidge over. We'll grab this set right here. And that way we only need to throw another 2-piece down there. Perfect. Now this one up here is 16, so we're going to have to do a little bit of finagling to get that in place. But the good news is we have at least a component of it to use up this way. So we'll start over here because we know that the wall is actually going to terminate over here. When it comes to this side, we're going to need to open it up anyway. Let's grab... let's see. Let's grab 2 4s. I would have needed 7 anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'll give us all we need there. And our door is going to open here. So we're going to grab one more of these little guys and throw that here. We're probably just going to shape up the map today, and then over the weekend I'll work on some details and things like that, and depending on where we end up, it might be something that, you know, I show off a little bit later, and we just take a little bit of a tour into what I've already done, because I'm trying to get this map out, you know, between now and the end of the weekend, because I'm trying to catch up on some of the other things that I'm doing. We're at like a challenging point right now because like everything that I'm doing is either indoors, which takes a little bit of work, or we've got some other stuff coming, like so in the Tellest universe, the underground area is called the Everdark, and we're very close to a map in that area. and we don't have any like underground areas like that. We have the mines and things like that, but I'm purposely trying to, I think, make the Tellest Everdark area kind of look a little bit like, I want to try and see like if at the same time I can make it look a little bit like the underworld in Tears of the Kingdom, because I really like that look with like the corrupted ground and everything like that. I think that would be fun to try and emulate. So I'll do like a best of both worlds kind of situation. We'll flip this the other way. And that's where that one changes. And let's see what we got. All right, we're going to save for now because I want to go over to, well, I want to give it plenty of time to do its saving, and then I'm going to drop over to our sponsor, and then we'll see you on the other side of that. Yeah, man. You can do it. I believe in you. I should have done it. I don't know why I was waiting for it to save. I should have just gone over to the sponsor. I will be right back. An epic fantasy with a slight Nordic flavor, The Chronicles of Atlan, The Butcher of the Eternal Forest by J.A. Bergloff could just become your next favorite saga. Featuring a world steeped in magic and majesty, the author demonstrates a great deal of passion for their story, and a great respect for the genre. That said, things might appear a bit bigger than you might expect. Bergloff's characters are booming and bombastic, and the scope of his work is massive. With a sequel in the works, there's never been a better time to learn more. Check out the promo on the Tellest website today. Alrighty, let's see. I just read that my encoder is overloaded. That's because my computer is very sad. Alright, let's try and close up some of these spots real quick. So we're going to grab these guys. Drat. Grab these because it kind of terminates nicely, but we do know that we're going to have to drop that guy and move the other one up. And then we just need to grab a series of 5 on the top and the bottom. Should be pretty easy. 7's going to be a little bit more challenging because I have 6 there. We've got the 7 there. Where's the best way to do it? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the best one right there. So we're going to do this at the bottom, but we're still going to have to clean things up at the top because that's where, well, you know what? It can be just a stone wall because we're not trying to make it look like a door. We're trying to make it look like a wall. Easy peasy. And I think it's going to be a relatively light episode today. We're not going to spend too much time outside of walling up these rooms and maybe labeling them. I think it'll be fun. Rihanna, you might even be able to help me with that. Trying to kind of conceptualize like what should happen in all these rooms. We know certain things because we've gone through them before, but we've also changed some things. So I want to make sure that, you know, it's a collaborative process. Okay, and we've got to grab a 3 section, and I don't think I have one. Well, we kind of do. I can do this. Now that is off. You can see just by looking at it that it needs to be tweaked. So I'm going to move that over there to properly reflect things. And let's see, we need an actual set of 3, so we'll grab them again. Move them here. Scooch them over a smidge. Maybe even a smidge more. And we need to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we're just going to be dropping the last 4. Got a little bit of an overlap, so let's find where there's a 1. All right, we'll clean that up as we go. So those ones sort of match up, but you can see that they slowly start to descend into madness, just like myself. Too far up. Let's move everything just a teensy bit further down. Okay, and then we need a 9. So 6, 7, 8. Just grab those ones right there. Alrighty. That's pretty much it. Oh, wait a minute. You can just go into the ether down here. So let's close that up. We know we need a 7. 7's what we got. Okay, that's nice there. Let's do a save real quick. All right, we got our walls. Let's do our doors real quick. Come over even more. Go. And this one I feel like I need to clean up a smidge because this shouldn't be quite up that far. We don't really see a gap there or anything, so that's good. I bring that up a tiny smidge and move the door up so we can only see a little bit of the door jamb. Okay, so we've got that door swinging that way. We've got this door swinging this way. Now, it's going to look a little strange when we ultimately have people using these two maps in conjunction with each other without that center map, because there's 2 doors, but they can deal. They'll be fine. It is a magic door. Okay, so these ones, they're going to be doors. We want the player to know, hey, there's nothing secret about this one. Two more doors, and then we are done with doors. We'll start to label some things and figure them out. I'll do all the stairs and everything later, but for now, pretty good. All right, let's do the text layer. That text is way too big. Let's grab this text. This was size 12. There we go. Don't even have to do anything crazy anymore. So we're going to say that this is the primal fire, and we can even do that so that the game master knows where these rooms are. Dumbledore? Is he a wizard? All right, so we know we've got primal fire there. Let's do a copy, and we'll put not primal fire over here. So this one is going to be that is not the kind of quotes I want. I don't like that at all. How you fix that? Wait a minute, I got this. Maybe. Nope. Just Michael being sad. Alright, so we know these rooms pretty well. Sorry, I'm hearing Rihanna's game going off down there, and I was worried that there was an explosion. Alright, let's save one more time. After we're done with this, we're going to real quick take a look at the sewers, because I pretty much did like all the sewers everywhere here, and I want folks to be able to see what we did there. Those darn quotes are really bothering me, that it doesn't know how to do that the right way. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. We'll do it this way. Stairway. I don't think I'm going to label the corridors, but Rihanna, what should this room here be? We've got, in the great room, there's going to be like slimes and stuff like that. I kind of want this to be like the bottom floor was, I think, where you a dance hall. That's tiny for a dance hall. Disappointed. How you supposed to do-si-do in there? You useless. Useless. Alright, let me think. So, you do-si don't. I think what we're going to do is a lot of this side of the Forgotten Keep, when we played it, was sort of like man-made monsters. So like the slimes make sense. A gelatinous cube could be fun in one of the corridors. That would be a fun little thing to try out. And here, I wonder, let's do a mimic chamber. We'll really torture our players. Oh, wait a minute. Don't need all that. So I want something in most of the big rooms. So I want something here, I want something here, I want something here, here. Maybe here is like a little bit of a reprieve, because at that point they've already been beaten up a little bit. I would assume that if they're seeing this and they know that they can go through here and they find their way through, they can go back to the cleaning the water puzzle and they can get their drink. An alchemy lab in one of these spots? Or do you think the alchemy lab should be here? We got 1, 2, and 3. Which one do you think it should be, Rihanna? Very first thing that we see here is an alchemy lab. Let's do it like this. So we've got enough room to play with it there. And then we've got these 3 other rooms to play with. So we've got, I think the creature, so to speak, is going to be like the big guy in the bottom lab. He's going to be our Frankenstein-y kind of guy. Let's do call this one our abominations. You know what? We're going to move our abominations up. So we got these 2 other rooms left. We'll have like things shackled up against the walls and stuff like that, and you have to be brave enough to pass by them. Let's see. Maybe somewhere a room with a bunch of chains like a monster holding... Heh! You and I had the same idea. Let's see. Let me just muse on this for a moment or two. And if it goes too long, I'll just think about it off the air, so to speak. So that next room after the alchemy lab is... Oh, you know what? A golem thing would be kind of cool. So somewhere over here we'll do golems. Maybe we'll do it down here. And the fun thing about the golems is you can do something like that, where it's another little preview of what the players are going to expect if they go into the Primal Fire room. Schmiegel? A Schmiegel golem? Golem. Maybe we'll, I mean, this is a rough couple of chambers. Maybe we'll give the players something nice in this room. Let's do some kind of potions and things. Shelves with potions. All right, so that pretty much gets us to what we need to do. We might do, you know, like a gelatinous cube or something there. Maybe we'll do like hard modes and easy modes. The corridors will be empty in easy mode, and then in hard mode we might do a little bit extra with them. But for now, let's save this one last time. We're going to take a step out of here and go to the sewers map, and we're going to take a look at the extras, because Ryan, I don't think that you had a chance to see the extras. Just 2 variants that we did, and then I'll head downstairs after I do a little bit of extra work up here real quick. All right, let's return to our maps. We're going to go back into our folders. So this was our completed map. This is after we did some slime and sludge and stuff like that. And then what I did was I took a water texture and pretty much completely flooded the sewers at this point. So if we come in here and we look at everything, pretty much the only safe spot to lay your characters down is on these little side passages and things like that. It kind of fades out here and everything like that, so you can go in there, but yeah, it's icky everywhere else. These, I kind of had them on like a higher elevation because of those little platforms. They don't exactly dump right into here. I might, like, maybe later on do like some kind of like sluice that kind of falls into there, because it logically should flow. But and you can see that I moved the treasure chests, the ladder, the dude, I moved them a little bit to account for that. And now we get to see Rihanna's least favorite variant, creepy crawlies. So I threw some bugs in the sewers in a couple of places, and at any moment they could burst out through the grates and stuff like that. And then I have a bunch of other little bugs over here. Good times. Boo! All right, that is pretty much it for now. So let's wrap up. I'm going to do some work, and then I'm going to head downstairs and maybe play a little bit. But it might be a quiet solo play. Let's go to our show closing. So, folks, thank you for watching the stream today. On the screen now, you should see all the places that you can find Tellest and That's Entertainment content. To find anything out about the Tellest Fantasy Universe, you can go to Tellest.com. For the battle maps my brother and I create, you can go to patreon.com/Tellest. To see my streams live, be sure to check me out on twitch.tv/ThatTellestGuy. To see all the streams that I've ever done for maps and Talking Tellest, you can check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/@WorldOfTellest. I will have chocolate milk. It's very true. To find all of our awesome merchandise, including high-quality mouse pads, handcrafted magic wands, battle maps, posters, and more, head to our shop at tellest.etsy.com, and also be sure to check out our doggies TikTok channel at Full House of Fluff. And that'll wrap us up for today. I'll see you around next time. We are going to take it easy for the rest of the week, most likely, but I will see you on Monday for more Talking Tellest. See you later.